Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here today with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite characters of late, and that is Poggle the Lesser. What makes Poggle the Lesser so great is that he's able to fit into a number of lineups, which makes him incredibly versatile. And there's nothing more valuable than versatility to the free-to-play player. That is, the free-to-play player has less opportunity to shift radically to meta changes. And so to have a character like Poggle that fits into multiple lineups is quite useful. So let's first talk about how do we farm this guy. And he's pretty easy to farm. First of all, he has 2 places where you can actually farm his shards. That's 6 chances a day. And then you can also get him from Galactic War shipments, which are our best and most lucrative and easiest to obtain resources. So you're going to be able to get him relatively quickly. The one downside is you're probably going for Luminara. As I told you in earlier videos, she's phenomenal as well. So really, I like to get them both. And then in another video, I said Captain Phasma was amazing, and she is. So as the free-to-play player, we have quite the backlog of Galactic War resources to spend. But for me, the current order is Luminara, then Poggle, then Phasma. So let's talk a little bit more about why I think Poggle is so great. First of all, he's pretty darn easy to farm. I have not been farming him long. He's all the way up to 5 stars already. That's fantastic. Let's talk about what he does. The main thing that he does is his droid assault ability. And this basically gives all of your allies offense up for 3 turns. So what this does is a myriad of things. You can build almost any lineup around this ability. You could stick in all bursty AoE guys just to try to boom, hammer your opponent until they're dead immediately. You could put in all retaliation guys. You could have 5s, you could have Dooku, you could have all these guys that when they're hit, they come back with bonus damage. You can have a pretty heavy heal lineup, knowing that, yeah, healers tend to hit a little lighter, but they're getting bonus damage from Poggle the Lesser. So all of these different lineups work really well with someone like Poggle. Not Poggle as a leader, just Poggle in your lineup throwing out his ability. What's really cool about it is it lasts 3 turns and has a 4-turn cooldown. So if you do the math there is only 1 turn where you don't have this ability. That is pretty fantastic. So the lineup I've been using with him recently is Sidious as the leader, Poggle in the lineup, Luminara, Dooku, and Old Daka. Old Daka fits in really nicely because suddenly she has a stun, she has a heal, she has a revive, and her stun actually does a reasonable amount of damage with Poggle the Lesser. And somebody like Luminara, her special pretty much auto kills most guys in the game, which is incredibly strong. Okay, so let's talk about some other lineups where you can use Poggle the Lesser. A more obvious lineup than what I've chosen to do is to pair him with droids or Geonosians. If you get Machine Overlord up to 6, these allies get 22.5% offense. That's a ton! So you can do things like Poggle, IG-88, IG-86. Just wait until Grievous is in the game, as long as he's considered a droid. The Geonosian Soldier, you can have a lineup where Poggle is your leader, and he just brings this wrecking crew of damage down upon your opponent. That can be quite fantastic. He also synergizes really well with droids because he gains 5% evasion for each living droid ally and gains 25% turn meter when he evades an attack. So if we do the math there, that gives him a plus 20% evasion if he's with 4 other droids. So that is also promising. And so this is what I'm talking about with his flexibility. And also his quash is quite good as well. It's a 60% chance to inflict ability block. So when he has his attack buffed, it's not doing a ton of damage still, don't get me wrong. But it's doing a reasonable amount of damage now and ability blocking. So, you can take out that healer, make sure they can't hit. IG-88 is going to go with his big massive AoE that's been buffed by your opponent's Poggle, which you can Poggle his IG-88, make sure he can't get his attack off. There's so many different lineups, different options you can use with Poggle. That's what really excites me as the free-to-play player. So I know I personally am dumping a ton of resources into him, trying to get him up to 7 stars. I already have the purple gear, and you know what? He has been fantastic. And I tell you, once Luminar is done, go get your Poggle. You will not be disappointed. So I'll see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games. And if you want to support me, go ahead and support me on Patreon. Anything you want to contribute is very much appreciated. But I'll see you next time with more from Tiny Grimes Games.